So our next presenter, coming up, Owen Foley, how to perform a wedding. Owen.
I know when I came up on that stage, you guys saw me and assumed that is the person who I want to ask questions about planning a wedding. But I have a fun fact for you. Do you know that when you're at a wedding altar, you need to put your left hand over the right hand so that people can see whether or not you're wearing a wedding ring? It's the type of thing I picked up after the first 2 or 3 dozen weddings. I don't know if I'm at 3 dozen. I counted 35, but I'm reasonably sure I forgot one. And over the years, I'm not 100% sure why I keep getting invited back to some of these. Friends and family and people I haven't seen before their wedding for several years decided to bring me because I apparently am fun and capable of doing weird things. Before one stretch of 5 weddings in 7 weeks, I decided to go online and register to become a minister, just in case. You know, maybe the priest gets some sort of food poisoning, or he goes out and something falls through. And then someone called my bluff. Now I've performed 6 weddings, and I'm here to share some tips with the rest of you. The first thing you really need to do is start your planning. You're going to have to sit down, call to figure out what you need to do to make a bespoke wedding for your friends. What do they want? Does he want to be called Jonathan, even though you've called him John for the past decade? Like, do they want to do the sisters coming together to do a reading, or the moms coming together to pour wine to signify the unifying of the families? Do they want fast and straightforward, or do they want traditional or religious fire and brimstone? Whatever it is, I can do it. So after figuring out what they want and the basic parameters, you have to write a sermon. And you have to find a way to walk the line between something dry and boring and a best man speech. Whatever you do, I highly recommend that you talk about their dogs. It always gets everybody. Talk about their history, talk about their future, but definitely the dogs. And the thing that they don't tell you when you're setting up to plan a wedding is there's a reason why boat captains do this. You need to have a certain bearing to you. And I'm going to overuse this boat captain metaphor, just forewarning. Because you're asked to do a lot of things that you wouldn't normally think would be involved in part of the job. You thought it was just standing up there and giving a talk, which I can do on short notice. You have to be responsible. Even though you've hollowed out your wedding Bible and put a flask inside, you can't imbibe, because you are the only one with a speaking part during the entire ceremony. And beyond that, you serve as the liaison between the friends and the family and everybody else. You need to keep everybody relaxed and make sure that they sign their paperwork. And then try to make sure that everyone's boutonniere is on correctly, which is a challenge in the slightest. And then you need to make sure that everyone shows up at the right time and is standing on the right spots with their left hand over their right hand and their boutonniere on straight, because the main event is about to start. And the most important thing is that you really need to steel yourself, because when the bride starts coming down the aisle, the waterworks start, and you are not allowed to cry. No one wants a sobbing officiant. Because you have the best seat in the house. You were going to attend that wedding anyway. But now you're standing there seeing your friend come towards you, and you have a chance to be a part of their special day. So you have to get ready to go for it. And you have to give a sermon that you delivered directly from your heart, that again is not a best man speech. The type of thing that draws on heartstrings, while also bringing to the fact that you just found out that Beth was short for Elizabeth when you were signing their paperwork. And you need to have everything planned, no matter what happens, and be able to roll with the punches while not doing a make-em-up improv-style wedding. Try to stay on book whenever possible, because you're making a memory for these folks that they're going to have for the rest of their life. the type of thing that they're going to put on their wall or show their kids, type of thing that people will look back on for years. But ironically, no one is going to remember a single thing that you said. They'll remember the fact that you were fun, or that it was short, or that it was really hot that day, or what people were wearing, or what the food was like. But they're not going to remember the exact words you say. If they do, they're weird, and don't worry about them. They want you to be out there and be a part of that special day. But you also want to be aware of this photographer, because there's a lot of pictures that people will look back on, and no one wants an officiant directly behind them during their first kiss going like this. So you plan, and you figure out where people are supposed to be. And you know that you can make it through this. Because as important as to you, it's far more important for everyone else. And when you hand off that microphone to the DJ, you are no longer the captain. You have been demoted. But this is still important. And these people, you don't own their wedding. You don't own it whether it goes till death or until divorce. You just need to be there for them as their friends. And if you do a good job, people are going to tell you for years that they want you to perform their wedding. Unfortunately, this couple wasn't able to do it because the red state legislators decided that they were more worried about what was under Venus's skirt than the love that these two shared. So as a reminder, on the first day of Pride, love is love, people are people, and marriage is sacred. Thank you. And now, by the power vested in me, by the Universal Life Church Online Monastery, and the great state of Vermont, I now pronounce you able to perform a wedding. Thank you.